everyone, and welcome to my channel if this is the first time that you are watching a video from me. Today I wanted to be really candid with you guys and prepare a video that talks about how to get your life together when you don't see the why of getting it together, when you're so down or feeling depressed, sad, and anxious that nothing really makes sense and you don't see the point of it all, the point of getting it all together, or the point of striving for goals that you were once really passionate about. So that is what this video is going to be about. I truly believe that if this video popped up in your feed, it is because of a reason, because nothing really happens by coincidence. And so all of the tips that I share in this video really worked for me. It doesn't matter that everything needs to resonate with you or you are at that point in your life, but these are habits and little things that if you incorporate in your life, they're going to make it better or help you achieve your goals way faster. So let's dive right in. The first thing that I want to talk about is your room. And this is going to be very interesting and important. There's a reason why this is the first thing that I wanted to talk about. If you feel like you are constantly running away from being alone, or if you feel like you don't really like being at home, you don't feel a sense of belonging, a sense of warmth, or motivation to do anything, I'd say start with your room. Start small, because the little wins compound. And I remember when I was feeling really depressed and nothing in my life made sense. My room was a mess. Of course, they say this, and this is really true, that your room is a reflection of the state of your mind. It could not have been more true for me. So what I did was every day I would set a timer for 20 minutes and promise myself that I'm going to clean my room. I was very smart in the sense that my mind tried to reason with itself that cleaning my room would not change anything, it's not something tangible, and that it won't make a difference in my life. But really, not even setting it up nicely or trying to make it a warm space, we're not even there yet. At that point, it was just my depression room, clothes on the floor and just utensils everywhere, and just so full of cosmetics and everything that I just bought and did not have a place for even. And slowly I started decluttering, throwing away things I didn't need in my life anymore. And the whole process of cleaning the room sort of became this process of me realizing all of the different stages I had been through and discovering who I was, what it was that I liked, what were the things that I was passionate about, like makeup, dressing up. And it wasn't that I was a messy person, it was just that I was going through a messy time in my life. And when I started clearing up things in my room, it sort of became this foundation of having the safe place to return to, the exact same place that I was always trying to run away from. I created this warm space for me that just, where I did not have to feel alone, where I could rest. And that was a really important part of my journey of finally getting everything together. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, you're never going to get everything together, because the whole point of life is unraveling and raveling, and a lot of good things come out of bad times or bad situations, experiences. But it definitely helps to always strive to get it together, which helps us move on to the next step. I'm only going to discuss the things that made the most impact and the things that you need to get started with right now. But please feel free to add more things in the comments, and I will make another video talking about some other things that really helped. But if I had to get down to the most important things that you need to focus on right now, it is definitely your room, your space, your environment. And by that, I also mean toxic people, your friend groups. It could be your work environment, it could be your colleagues, your family members, it could be anything. I want you to step away from narcissistic people, from people that feed off of negative energy, from people that tell you or show you that you cannot. And at the same time, I want you to not be that negative person for yourself or for others. I want you to embrace positive emotions. And by that, I mean, when we're in a negative state of mind, a lot of times, instead of looking at things through a positive light, we tend to go to the negative spectrum. There's this belief in philosophy which says that two polarized emotions or polarizing emotions are essentially the same but with varying intensity. So think about love or hate. The idea suggests that they're both the same, but one is just the absence of the other, right? And so what I want, a practical example of this could be a person who gives into the positive side would look at a person who is better at them at a certain task, and they would think, wow, they're really good at this. I wish I could be like that. What can I do to improve my skills in this subject? But a person who gives more into the negative side or has a narcissistic personality would think more about envy and jealousy, and those things can really weigh you down and can be really bad for you in the long run, which is why try to reprogram your mind and think about the positive side of things, which is easy to say, is hard to do, but very important and the most rewarding thing that you can do in your life. The third and the last thing that I will discuss in this video is, and you've heard this a million times probably, but trust me, it makes a world of difference. When I was depressed about 3 months ago, I was not eating well. I would starve the whole day, and then at night I would eat anything. I was really into like this protein phase where I would only pick and choose and eat. What I want you to know is that you don't just need protein, you need fats, you need carbohydrates, and they serve different functions. And this does not even apply to you if you're not in your protein phase, right? Eat nuts, try. I know that sometimes you may not feel like eating, you may not feel hungry. If you have dedicated meal times and you're nourishing your body will reward you and your brain will reward you. Fats are the fuel to your brain, and if you want your brain to be able to work on the problems that you wanted to solve, you have to feed it first. If you want your body to be active and powerful and give you energy for your workouts, or even for a walk, you need carbohydrates. And of course, you need protein for muscle building and for repair. And all of this is like super easy to talk about. I remember when I forced myself to start eating more, which was at a point in my life where I didn't see the purpose of anything. And at that point, I wasn't into eating. And then I told myself, I cannot keep living like this. I feel really depressed. And even when I didn't feel like eating, I made sure at the end of the day I was getting enough fats, protein, and carbohydrates throughout the day. In like a week or two, in about 2 weeks, I feel my body replenished its stores, and I not just did not just have the motivation but also the energy to be able to do more and be myself. So these are really basic, but this is how you get started. These are the building blocks, and I am going to discuss more things in future videos that might seem more complicated, but really this is it. This is all there is to the basic things that you need to get in line first before moving on to adopting systems that they suggest in self-help videos, because those systems might fail you when your body does not have the energy or motivation or the environment that could support your growth. And so this is where it starts, and it only builds on further.